Hey queens, hey queens, hey queens. So it is all about the Satya. Satya is about truthfulness and genuineness, your authenticity of who you are and who you're becoming. It's really about speaking your truth, right? We want to talk about the throat chakra, and I'm going to show you actually a pose from the throat chakra as well, but we're going to start with a root chakra pose because it's about being exactly where you are and speaking your authenticity and being in your authenticity, right? So in your own space, right? Because not every day I am in a wheelchair, but I have to be in the wheelchair when it suits me for where I am at the moment, my body or whatever I may have been feeling for the day, right? But for me not to give up on myself and be real with myself, be truthful with myself. When we are not truthful with ourselves and we're living in comparison, we're being in fear. So we're not nurturing who we're becoming. We're not actually worrying about self-care. We're too busy being not real with ourselves. We're being dishonest with ourselves. And that's not having a balanced chakra, or technically to me, a balanced foundation. So that's healing within and healing through within your sacral chakra. So I'm going to show you a pose that will be within your roots energy, and a pose that will go into your second chakra, your sacral chakra, right? And I'm going to, on a different video, show you a pose for your throat chakra that will go towards truthfulness in Satya. So it will help you work towards your energy. It'll help you work towards your authenticity and self-expression, speaking your truth and knowing that it's okay to say no sometimes, but understanding that is having a balanced chakra, throat chakra as well. But remember, your chakras are lines. It's a nice line that everything flows together. So when we're talking about Satya, think of life of your breath. When you're doing meditation and we're flowing, breathing in, filling up your stomach, filling up that chest, and allowing it to flow back out, releasing that air, releasing that tension, releasing those fears, right? That is our true authenticity. We're in no comparison with anyone. So with yoga, we are finding ourselves on the mat, right? We're exactly where we are. And where I am is exactly in the wheelchair, but I'm not going to just get discouraged. I'm going to be real with myself and allow myself to nurture who I'm becoming. So I'm going to show you a pose, a chair pose that you can do. And where's my block? Okay, so because I'm having a little bit of issues with my legs, right? We're going to take a block, right? And put it behind our heel, or we can step on that block, whatever makes you feel more comfortable, to give tension off of your legs, right? Because we're going to lift our arms up and we're going to rotate our upper body to lean forward into the chair pose that we already are. We want to give a nice motion through our hips, tightening our core and allowing that flow to go in and out. So hug your core, breathing in, and then drawing your belly into your back. Not straining, holding it gently. We're gonna lift the arms. Lift your arms as much as you can. If this is as much as you can, you bend those elbows and you lift those arms. But we're gonna lift our arms up, lengthening your crown and gazing forward with your hands, with your eyes. Allowing your hands to face forward. This is how my hands are, facing towards each other. Breathing in. If you want to deepen it, come down a little bit more. Breathing out, making sure we're breathing. Breathing. Coming back up. Inhaling and exhaling, releasing that pose. And that is a modified chair yoga pose that we can do to make sure we're not putting any strain on our legs. If you are having any leg issues, right, like I am, sometimes my arms can't go all the way up. So that's why I said that if this is where you have to be, you be exactly where you are at. Speak your truth, be in your truth, walk in your journey, and not compare yourself to anyone else. There's other queens that can raise their hand all the way up. But if this is where you are, this is, you just work on that core. We don't want to pacify ourselves, but we don't want to harm ourselves. We want to be exactly where we are and be in our Satya without comparison, right? So I'm going to show you another pose. I have my notes down here. So I know a down angle pose is normally you've been sitting with your back straight and your legs in front of you, right? But we're going to sit with our back straight, sitting up nice and tall. This is working on our sacral chakra, our bound angle pose. And I'm going to show you first the modified version that I would do, and then I'm going to talk to you in steps on what you should do. And then I'm going to have a model here exactly on my mat when she comes back to show you exactly the steps that you would do on the mat for a bound angle pose. Okay, so again, you can get your block if you want to. We're going to push that block back though behind us if you can. My legs are a little bit struggling, but once I get them comfortable, it'll be fine. So I have my feet on that block nice and comfy. It could be under your whole foot. Okay, and I'm just allowing my feet to just be behind me, okay? Now we're going to take our hands, reach up. This is how I like to do it, because if we was on the mat, it would look a little bit different. Because we can't have our legs wide open, right? If you can't have your legs wide open, you open those legs wide open. And we're gonna do just like how we did with our root energy. Make sure those wheelchairs are locked, right? And come down as much as you can, okay? If you can't put too much pressure on your knees, then don't put too much pressure on your knees. Come exactly where you are and let your hips lead you. Put those hands, go towards those side of that wheelchair, and you just hold here. And this is what I like to call the one leg forward fold in the wheelchair, right? Just allowing our Satya to evolve us. We fit in where we are and not in anywhere else, not in groups, not comparing ourselves. This is personal development. This is the important part of Satya. This is really what personal development looks like to me. Because I allow myself to walk in my authenticity. Let's reach back up, breathing in, sitting back and releasing those arms, releasing that breath. And if you need to, release those legs, right? And just being here, checking in, understanding that Satya, you don't want to pretend. we go to a yoga class, and in yoga class, there's a lot of comparison because of where other queens are in their season compared to where you are, compared to where I am. As long as I've been doing it, I'm back to figuring out what works for me. So that's what the journey is, figuring out what your truthfulness is, how you're going to self-express you, your realness, your authenticity, how you're going to evolve in the season that you are in. The season I'm in, it's hard to get around, but I'm not going to give up. I'm in my wheelchair, and I'm going to keep going and doing what I need to do according to how I need to do things and show up for me and my vision and goals. So practice Satya each and every day according to where you are in your season, queens. Show up for you. And this is how we protect our energy, when we begin to balance those energy chakras and be intentional and working on that. Because realize meditation is everything in everything that we do. Because when we just did that yoga pose, right? We sat there and raised our arms up. We breathed in. And we found ourselves exactly where we are and exhaled. Laying those arms on that wheel, on the side, wherever you need to do. This allows the hips, the legs. Keeping your tailbone to that chair, relaxing your neck. Gaze down at the mat, at your toes. If you need to have your feet right in front of you, you can't have it on the block, then don't do that. Meet yourself where you're at, because we're not pretending. And we're not pacifying ourselves. Come up, breathing in, see meditation, breath, prana. And releasing those arms, exhaling. And it allows us to work on where we may feel tension at and help relieving that. You know, that's what it's about, showing up exactly where you are on the mat. So, queens, thank you for allowing me to guide you on just protecting your energy, showing you what the limbs of yoga is about, the yamas, and what Satya is really about. Yoga is so much more than just movement. It's not just about making sure you can touch your toes, touch your nose, and all sorts of things. No, it's not about that. It's about meeting yourself exactly where you are in your own space. It's about union. It's about the yoke where you are. So make sure everything you do it the royal way.